Mr Speaker.
Make a fight, Terry.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. Tēnā tātou katoa ngā member o te whare nei. Mr Speaker, it gives me absolute privilege again to rise in support of the second reading of the Maungaharuru Tangitu Hapu Claim Settlement Bill. And I too want to acknowledge the King, the whānau that haven't been able to make it from Napier and because of the closures in the airport, but quite rightly, like the Honourable Chris Finlinson said, this is really a part of the process. The critical part is the third reading. But I do just want to say, for those that couldn't make it due to fog, I know you're here in spirit. And despite your absence here, I know the thought and the excitement that we are almost at the end of this journey. So I do want to acknowledge that, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, I was fortunate enough to be at the Select Committee in Napier. We were talking about the speed in which the Māori Select Committee is working in terms of dealing with these bills, and can I say that at the hearing we had in Napier, the Māori Select Committee was split. We had half in one area and the other half in Napier. So I want to acknowledge the Honourable Tūroro Flavel, who chaired the Māori Select Committee in Napier, and to share with the House, we had many submissions. The fact that the Honourable Minister Finlinson has really just commended the bill shows that the submissions weren't of any major concern. But I do want to acknowledge those in Napier and around Hawke's Bay that came to submit to this bill and to strengthen it for what has become. One thing I did pick up, Mr Speaker, in the submissions in Napier was around, we talk about the relationships that are critical for treaty settlements, not just between iwi and the Crown, but obviously iwi with iwi, hapu with hapu. And in the hearing of the early submitters to the Napier hearings were concerns around certain hapu missing out and not being reflected in this bill. And I've got to say, for the short 7 or so months, or not even 7 months, Mr Speaker, since I've been a member of the Māori Affairs Select Committee, that seems to be a common thread coming through, where hapu or iwi are either in a claim or out of a claim or in nowhere claim. And so we heard that through the Maungaharuru Tangitu. But I do want to acknowledge Tania Hoffman, Uncle Bevan Taylor from Tāngoil and Pitane Marae, who were able to take the concerns raised at the submission and report back to the Select Committee. And treaty claims are a very complex and convoluted area, and unless you know the history of not just that particular claim, but previous claims and the previous injustices, does the whole picture unfold itself, Mr Speaker. And clearly having the opportunity to sit with Tania to explain the concerns of Ngaitahu, and not Ngaitahu from the South Island, but the hapu of Ngaitahu from the New Haka Mohaka area of the Hawke's Bay, who clearly were one of those hapu who felt left out, not reflected in the Ngāti Pāhauwera settlement, and clearly did not see themselves in the Maungaharuru Tangitu settlement bill. But Mr Speaker, I was rest assured, having shared a flight back with Tania, that that actually wasn't the case. And again, it just goes to my point around what processes do we allow for people that feel that they're not adequately reflected, or their interest and beneficial interests are not reflected in treaty settlements. The question for me, having heard those submissions, was, knowing the whakapapa, knowing the genealogical links can go back many, many generations. And I recall my colleague, both the Honourable Nanaia Mahuta and our able chair, Mr Tauhenare, that the role of the Māori Select Committee is not there to determine whakapapa. It is not there to determine whose whakapapa is the more correct than the others. And I think I've used that, it's been a very good point made several times as a member of the Māori Select Committee. And this message is not just to the House, but clearly to those whose treaty settlements haven't been heard, to reflect that a lot of that is and should never ever be the role of the Crown to determine whose whakapapa should be and shouldn't be included. Again, that goes to my point around getting to those points. We are very passionate people when it comes to whakapapa, your mana whenua over areas, but for me it's around creating a process for that to happen where it should rightly sit, and that is with the whānau and the hapu and the iwi. But often as members of the Māori Select Committee, Mr Speaker, it feels sometimes that people who are putting up their cases to be included are looking for some sort of adjudication by the Māori Affairs Select Committee. So I'm proud to be associated with a committee that draws the line that that is not the role of the committee. And like I said, coming back to this particular bill and subsequent ones that the Honourable Mr Finlayson has acknowledged, where that seems to be a recurring issue. So, Mr Speaker, I really didn't want to take too much more time of the House. Clearly, the report that was produced by the Select Committee with very, very minor details have been presented. I do too join with others in the House and look forward to the third reading of the Maungaharuru Tangitu settlement bill, and I'm really confident and clear that this passing of this bill added to the Ngāti Pāhauira Settlement Act with the other 4 large natural groupings of the Ngāti Kahungunu iwi collective settlements is going to do some amazing things for the region of Hawke's Bay, from Paretu all the way down to Tūrakirai in the Wairarapa. So, Mr Speaker, it's with those closing words that I again support the second reading of the Maungaharuru Tangitu Hapu Claim Settlement Bill, and I wish them well and look forward to them all joining us in the third reading. Nō reira, tēnā tātou katoa.
Mr Speaker.
Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, it's with pleasure actually that I get to stand up